What's going on, guys? Jason Diamond here, and tonight we're going to talk about Christmas lights. And hopefully you can hear me. I didn't know it was supposed to start storming in this, and so you may or may not hear me. If you have audio issues, let me know, because there is a big storm coming through here, and this building can get loud sometimes. But I'll try to talk loud. If it hopefully it drowned it out or something, but if not, you'll get value. And so tonight, I want to talk a little bit about what do we need to do to be ready for 2026 of hanging Christmas lights. You know, sometimes people are like, Jason, I don't need to worry about that till October or November. And the thing about that is that is not the case of if you want a successful Christmas light business. This is why you need to focus on it now and not later. And so if you want to be like Daniel and do 6 figures, 7 figures within 3 years, this is the time we start working on our business. We don't wait till September and October when our pressure washing business or our other business slows down. This is the time that we need to work on things that will help our business grow. And so even when, good, Carrie, thank you. Even when, people are like, well, Jason, I don't want to do that right now. I'm trying to do this. But in reality, this is the time that we can put into it. So then that way, when the season does come, we can hit 6 figures, we can hit 7 figures during Christmas lights. And so tonight, I'm going to talk about the different things that we can do and start building out from, say, March to June, July through September. So that way we can have everything ready. Whether that might become learn how to do Christmas lights, whether that might become, however, if you're just starting out, or if you are in the growth spurt and you are trying to grow, this is what we're going to hit on. And so tonight, my book is Endless Customers. And I believe this is going to be a big book for you if you want to grow in 2026. This is the book that's going to help you grow, whether it is in your pressure washing business, whether it's in your lawn care business, whether it's in your Christmas light business. Video is king, video is king, video is king. And so that's what this book talks about. Answering people's questions. That is what I want to hit on. So just in case, I know there's a big sale coming, because as soon as I seen it coming, I was like, crap, I guess I should have stayed at the house, but it's finally warm enough that I can come down to my shop. I like it down here, but I'm going to have to put a ceiling in here so people can hear for when we're moving on. So let's talk about what should we do now so that way we are ready when we come. And one of the things is, if you haven't started your Google business profile and you haven't started your website, this is the time to do that now and start building that out now. So that way, when Christmas time comes around, when September comes, you will start getting calls off of your Google business profile. And so this is something that I would highly recommend. We talk about why we want 100 photos. If you get 100 photos on your thing, you can get 520% more phone calls than without having the 100 photos. So this is something that you need to do. How do we dial in our systems? Practice on your house, practice on your neighbor's house, take pictures of it, take pictures of you and your employees hanging Christmas lights. So these are all things that we can start thinking about. We can start picking up the phone calls. Someone in the group today asked the question, how do I get commercial? And of course, we had one guy like, commercial is dumb. Well, the first thing you need to do is have the right mindset. Because if you have a negative mindset, you're right, commercial is dumb. You're right, they don't pay. Because if that's the mindset you have in here, that's going to be the mindset that comes out of you, and that's not the mindset you want, right? The mindset of they don't pay, that's stupid, that's dumb, commercial's a waste of time. It's a great way to leave a lot of money on the table. Like there is companies out there doing 7 and 8 figures doing commercial work. And so this is why it is so important that I believe it ain't just residential, but how do we also get the commercial work for us to grow our business in 2026? And so one of the things is let's start thinking about building out our price sheet. Let's start thinking about what we need to do to make sure that we are being profitable. A lot of times we don't make sure we're being profitable. And so that is not a good thing. So make sure that we're building it out. Make sure we understand our costs. Make sure we know our numbers, especially if we were in business last year. We should know our numbers for 2026. And so this is something that you want to start looking at and start building out. What do I need to make to be profitable? A lot of times we start out and we're like, I'm going to be cheap to get more customers. But in the end, we just might as well go get a job. And so that is what we need to know. I just started. I can see and hear you now. Good. So some other things. Let's get our top 20. Where do we want to start looking at? So if you want to start building customers, now start calling your commercial customers. Start picking up the phone. And I've talked about this, right? You pick a niche and you go down. Today, I'm calling car dealers. And I'm going to call 25 car dealerships. And I'm going to try to get more car dealerships. And so that's what we want to do to be able to grow our business in 2026. That's awesome. First batch of yard signs coming in this week, right? Because I think you're doing permanent lights and you're doing landscape lighting. And so that all works well for that too. Next thing, let's set up our social media. Have you got its own page? Are you working your social media? You know, I saw a post today of someone's like, yeah, because he had been in business and he's like, I took a simple pressure washing Christmas light class and I met someone there and I learned about social media there and I learned about AI there, that then I was able to go back and build a big business or build my business bigger. And so, you know, when you come to my classes, you might be brand new. You may never have started, or you may have a business. You may have been doing 50,000. You may have done 100,000. But when you come and you have a different mindset and you want to learn how to do marketing, and I go in depth in marketing so that you can learn it and take it back into your business. That's the whole point of my goal, right? That's why I love my in-person classes, because it's not always just meeting somebody, not just learning something here, but you're going to meet someone. And, you know, like I've said before, my March 20th class coming up, I'm going to have some people here that have done 7 figures. And so if you want to be in the room where other people have done 7 figures, it's important that you get into those rooms. And here's the thing, they're going to learn stuff just as much as you are, because you're on one journey versus they're on the next level of the journey. And that's the whole thing is get trained so that way you get your social media up, you start working your social media, and guess what? That's all free leads, right? It's not technically free because, as I say, you either got to pay or you got to take time. And so when I give you things like Bobby Duncan and I show you what he does and I tell you how he does it, and I show you very little, and I show you kind of the behind the scenes of what he's doing. And when you start implementing this into your business, it's amazing what's going to happen for you, right? You're going to start growing your business because you're going to start implementing these things also. You're going to start posting 5, 6, 8 times a day, because I'm going to show you the data of why you post 8, 9, 10 times a day. You know, some of you watch Gary Vee. He says post 20 times a day. Why do you post 20 times a day? Well, because when your customer comes on Facebook, that's when you've got to pop up. If you've showed up at 10 o'clock this morning and they're getting on their social social media pages at 8 o'clock at night, they're not going to see your post from 10 o'clock this morning. And they're definitely not going to see your post from last week that you posted, because you're like, I don't know what to post. I don't know how to post. I don't know where to post. I don't know what to post. I just want to have this. I want to hit this big easy button, right? Where's the easy button? I want the easy button and all this money is going to come to me. And it doesn't work that way. Like when you see people that are successful, they're posting 5, 6, 8 times a day. They're doing the things that you need to do to grow your business. And so that's something that you definitely want to do. Could you critique our website, social media one night? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what we want to do to be able to do that. We want to start posting on our Google Business Profile. We want to start doing all of that stuff. And then when summer comes, July, August, September, what are we going to do then? Well, we can do something right now. You know, I have my friend Eric that teaches door knocking, right? Are you door knocking? You can start door knocking now, because you get your people to door knock, and that's something that you can do now. You can run early bird special. Instead of charging $8, you charge $9 and say, hey, if you sign up in July, right, Christmas in July, we'll knock off 10%. So we're still at $8.10. And so that's some things that we can do to help us grow our business. And then by the time your competition wakes up in October, guess what? You've already got the reps in, because the more reps you put into this, the more likely you are to be able to grow your business. And so that's the whole point of me saying this is that we have to be able to get the reps in so that we can do this. So why is this unfair advantage? Because right now, a lot of guys that are doing pressure washing, they're doing landscaping, they're doing these other things. Guess what? They're not working on their pressure or Christmas light business right now, because they're worried about getting those pressure washing jobs going. They're worried about getting those landscape jobs going. They're worried about getting the pest control. They're worried about getting roofing jobs done now. And they're not focused on, what do I need to do to grow my Christmas light business? What do I need to do right now to grow my Christmas light business? And I'm not saying these other things are bad, and you might just be starting. And so if you're just starting your Christmas light business and you're going to do pressure washing, get through the pressure washing season, but get trained, start building your Google Business Profile out, start doing your website, start building your social media stuff. So then that way, when October comes around, you're not sitting there with your fiddling your thumbs waiting for the phone to ring. Because if you don't do nothing right now, you're not going to, and this is your first year, you will not get business until November, and typically till the middle of November. And so if you want to change that up and start getting business now, now is the time that we go through and we start doing that. So now is the time we start working on our Christmas lights. So this way you can be ready to go when it goes. And so here's the thing, right? Is it worth it to do it? Well, what's your average ticket, right? I've got guys that have $2,000 average ticket. Now, they didn't get there overnight. It took a while to get there. Some of them did. Some people got there real quick. Some people did not. And so these are things that we have to look at of what do we need to do to make this happen, right? Daniel, Jeremy, both did over $1 million this year. Now, Jeremy didn't do as much in Christmas lights. He did more in pressure washing. But again, what are you doing in your business in March to be ready for you to go there? What systems in your Christmas light business do we need to work on so that way you're not on the truck this year? You know, I know one that he's like, I'm going to get off the truck this year. And guess who didn't get off the truck this year? Justice. Yes, I'm going to call him out, because if you don't get off the truck and you don't have the systems in place, then don't complain when you don't grow, right? Because you didn't do the things that you needed to do to be able to get off the truck to make that happen, right? And so this is something that you want to do. How do I get on the class, Jason, for Christmas lights? Go to christmaslights.io, and there'll be in-person training, and click on in-person training, and that's where you'll go at. You can go to christmaslights.io/IPT for in-person training, and that's where you can find out all my classes that I will be having coming up. I am doing permanent lights. I am doing Christmas lights. Yes, I'll be doing permanent lights in March at this next class. So if you want to learn permanent lights to do a lighting business all year long, then this is a place that you can do that. I will have everything you need to know so you can go back and grow your permanent light business, right? I know people that are doing $100,000 months doing permanent lights. And you might say, well, Jason, how are they getting leads? Well, they're not sitting on their fingers wondering what to do to get leads. They're spending $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month in Facebook ads to get the leads. It ain't no different than trim light, jellyfish light, all the lights that are out there. People are spending money to be able to get the leads, to be able to get that for that. So christmaslights.io is where you can get that. Now, next thing, where did my notes go? So what do we need to do to be able to grow our Christmas lights in 2026? Well, like I said, get trained. You know, I have 3-day training, permanent lights, Christmas lights, and marketing. Everybody wants to know how to do the hands-on, but the most important thing I can tell you to do in 2026 is learn how to do marketing. Whether that's your pressure washing business, your Christmas light business, whatever that might be, learn how to do marketing. It is the number one thing that will grow your business this year. I promise you, it is the number one thing that will grow your business. If you don't know how to do marketing, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. And things are changing, right? Google ads are changing. Facebook ads are changing. Facebook ads making it easier and easier for you to be just a Joe Schmo to go out there and do this. AI is making things a lot easier. Monday night, if you're not in my Monday night calls, you need to get there. This Monday night, I literally showed you how to build a website without touching a freaking thing, right? I showed you how to use Claude. I showed you how it will go in and do it. It can do the same exact thing with Google ads. It can do the same exact things with Facebook ads. It can analyze things. It can make your life a lot easier for you to do this. And so this is something that I would highly recommend you to think about. Are you selling permanent and temporary on the same flyer and ad? And the answer is no. It's two different things, right? People that are looking for Christmas lights are looking for Christmas lights. People that are looking for permanent lights are looking for permanent lights. It's not the same at the end of the day. Now, you will know that you get a lot of people calling for Christmas lights wanting the permanent lights. So it is definitely something that you have to think about to be able to get to where you need to be at. So again, I'm excited this year. It's going to be an amazing year. I know people are already selling jobs as we speak. I know people that have closed big jobs already as we speak. And so I just want you to know that it's going to be a great year. Are you ready? Are you ready to get your piece of the pie? Or are you sitting in the corner hoping and praying that the phone rings? And I'm just going to tell you something. When you're sitting in the corner hoping and praying, the likelihood of the phone ringing is about this much, right? It's about 0%. So what are you going to do this year to get your phone to ring? Are you going to go put out 1,000-yard signs this year? I would say if you want to do it $100,000 your first year or year one, you go put out 1,000-yard signs. And I will about guarantee you, you will hit 110, you will hit 6 figures in your Christmas light business. And so that's why I'm telling you to do it. And if you're doing permanent lights and Christmas lights and traditional, put you out 500 signs of one and 500 signs of the other. If you do that, get your Google business profile up and running, get your reviews. Are you asking for reviews at every job, or are you just hoping and praying for reviews? Because if you're hoping and praying for reviews, your reviews ain't going to show up. Hope and pray don't get it. Are you asking for that tap card right then and there? Are you saying, hey, yes, Miss Jones, is there any reason why you wouldn't give me a 5-star review? No, you did great. Awesome. Let me see your phone here. If you could just get this right here on there with your phone, it'll take you there and give me a 5-star review. I'd appreciate it very much. It helps me out a lot, right? That is how you get more 5-star reviews. That's how you get your first 100 5-star reviews. That's how you get to 500 5-star reviews. If you're not asking for it, or if you don't have a script for your employees, you're also not going to get 5-star reviews. And so this is why we want scripts for our employees. This is why we want scripts for you, so that you can get your 5-star reviews. So that way you can grow your business in 2026. That's just the way it is, right? So what else can you do in marketing? Do you have your EDDM? Are you going to do EDDM? What's the offer on EDDM? What makes a good EDDM versus a bad one? We don't know unless you test. Where's the good areas? Where's the bad areas? Do you have your door hangers, right? Do you have door hangers? Do you have door hangers with a billion dollar light on there, right? Do you have a door hanger that catches your attention? That's the thing that you want to know. I made it a little late, but I made it. How many Christmas lights do you need to purchase to start a business? And I'm going to be honest. I've got Christmas lights right here that I've got a fire sale that it's going to be the best deal you're going to get. You can get them for 50 cents a piece, I believe is what it comes down to. ChristmasLights.io/fire sale. Or you go to Christmas Lights, buy Christmas lights, and you'll find the fire sale there. But I'm going to be honest with you, Scott. You don't need any right now. You don't need to go purchase a bunch of lights. Don't purchase nothing. I'd rather you go and learn, and I'd rather you go and take that money and invest it in yard signs and marketing. Because the reason why I tell you that is, yes, I would love to sell you Christmas lights. I've got about $20,000, $30,000 worth of Christmas lights over here. I'd love to sell them to you, but I don't want you to buy them. I want you to grow your business. You go out there, sell the jobs, get your 50% deposit, and guess what? Now you can go buy the lights. Are they a little bit more expensive at that point? Yes, they are. But I know people that have went out and bought $10,000 worth of lights, and they sold $5,000 worth of jobs because they didn't have no money for marketing. And so what I would say is go out there, sell the jobs, tell them you're going to put them up November 1st, and then that's when you can go buy your materials. Yes, is it going to cost you a little bit more? Sure it is. But in the end, you're going to be way more successful in the end. So again, if you don't want to listen to me and you want to go to ChristmasLights.io, buy lights, or ChristmasLight.io, I think it will take you there too. Buy lights and go there and get your lights. Again, they're about 50 cents a bulb right now. If you want to go that route, great bulb. That's what you can do. Big time is in the house. How are you doing, sir? So I know that I'm on Christmas lights, but again, I wanted to hit a little bit. This is marketing at the end of the day. This is all it is. Whether you're marketing for your Christmas light business or your pressure wash business, landscape business, I know some amazing pressure washers out there, and they don't make no money. I know some amazing landscapers out there, and they don't make no money because they don't do the marketing. They're great at their craft, and they do no marketing, right? And marketing is the breath of your business. It is the life of your business. like I said, when I was talking about, people that come to my class, it's just a simple Christmas light class because you didn't listen to the day that I told you that was most important. When you do, if you have come and you come to it and you are in business and you're trying to grow, then you need to start thinking about systems. How do I place this system in my business? How do I put this system in my business so that I can grow my business? Instead, because I give you systems and you have systems, but some of your systems just kind of suck. And so it's important that we understand that if you don't have systems in your business, then you're probably never going to find good employees because you're always going to be mad at them because they do stupid stuff because you haven't gave them the systems to be able to do the right things at the right time. So that's why you might have systems in your business. Again, if you're a pressure washing business, what systems do you have in your business? Do you have a checklist that goes down to make sure that they do 26 steps, right? The reason why I do the 26 steps in here for the perfect power wash or for the perfect house wash is because I want you to do the exact same thing every time. When you pull up to the house, I want you to take a picture that you're at the right house. I want you to take a picture that you parked out on the street. I want you to take, why do I want to park out on the street, Jason? Well, it's not a busy road and it's a subdivision. I don't want you parking in the street, in the driveway and dropping oil or dropping chemicals, right? So these are things that we're going to do to make sure that it happens every single time that we are taking a picture of it to make sure that that's the system that you need. Or maybe the system is we're going to take a picture of all four sides. Well, why do I need to do that? Because otherwise, you're going to be like another call that I get on my phone call and say, Jason, these garage doors are all screwed up. There's like 50 garage doors that I'm doing, and every one of them is screwed up. What did you get the before pictures? I didn't have time for that, Jason. Well, guess what? You got the time to fix those doors right now, because if you ain't got proof, that's the problem that you have. So that's why we got to have systems. That's why we got to have checklists. That's why I preach that so much. And so that's where we need to be at. And again, it's loud. I'm probably loud. It's raining and it's pouring. It ain't just raining, it's pouring. And any questions? I don't know how much you all are able to hear, but any questions? If not, ChristmasLights.io, go check it out. I have the fire sale right now. And when it's gone, it's gone. They're about 50 cents a bulb right now. It's if you type in Facebook, I believe it's Facebook is the discount code. If you're not in my group, can't hear it ring, it's fine. Oh, good. If you're not in my group, go to ChristmasLights.io/group. That's my Facebook group. I have a large, there's 43,000 members in this Facebook group, and I'm giving lots of value in there. You can learn everything you need to know. You can push everything, and I push it really hard. I definitely want you to be able to grow your business. I'm going to be giving more value come this month. I'm going to start putting out 2 videos a week. I'm going to start posting shorts. I'm going to be doing Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night from here on out is going to be Christmas lights. If you would like to come on my live with me and give value, hit me up. I love to have people on. I love when other people come on. It's a great time. And that way other people can learn and grow their business. Also, I can do some website stuff coming up, analyze it, show you what can be good, show you what can be better. That way you can grow your business. You can go out there and change your life, because it's not about growing a business at the end of the day. It's about getting time freedom. It's about getting and financial freedom. Those are the 2 things that I want you to be able to grow. My motto this year is customer first. So if there's anything that I can do to help you please reach out to me. If you've got questions, don't hesitate to call me. I have my number here. You can call me. I will help you in any way that I can help you with. You can call me. If you want, you can text me. And yes, it is me. No, it is not my AI. No, it might be my assistant, but 90% of the time, if you call this number, it's going to be me. And I want to help you grow your business in 2026. And I want you to know what you need help with. And no, I'm not charging anything for these phone calls right now. I might ask you if you want equipment or if you want some supplies, but in the end, I also know that it's about building the know, like, and trust, and they'll buy from you. And so I want you to know that you can trust me. It ain't no different than this question right here. I could have said, dude, you need to go buy $5,000 worth of lights from me so that you can be successful. And that's the biggest line of crap. If someone is preaching you to buy material first before you go get supplies, do not go for that. That is stupid. I'm just telling you, that's stupid. I see too many people fail because they go hear gurus and they don't go learn how to sell this stuff at $8 and $10 a foot. And the guru is telling you to sell it at $6 a foot so that they can make more money. And if that, at the end of the day, only person is winning is them. And I want you to win in 2026. You can go out there and sell it for $8 to $10 a foot. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to go out there and take action. You have to get the phone to ring. And yes, you can get $8 a foot. I had a guy last year call me and he's like, Jason, my competitor is $2, $3 a foot. I'm $4 a foot. I said, go to $6 a foot. Just get to $6. And then a couple months later, he calls me. I'm like, are you at $8 a foot yet? And he's like, I'm just trying to get to $6. And I'm like, let's get to $8. And guess what happened at the end of the season? He was at $8 a foot and he had competitors at $2 a foot in his same exact area. That's the difference. When you change your mindset, you change your life. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Change your mindset, change your life. And so that's what I'm preaching this year. And so if that's what you want, then let's go out there and get it. It's not about being the cheapest guy out there. And oh my God, all these competitors, Jason, they're at $4 a foot. They're at $6 a foot. Who cares? Learn how to sell better. It's amazing what happens when you sell, right? When you sell better, it's amazing what happens. That when you believe in yourself, I don't care if I'm talking pressure washing, Christmas lights, any business, in your lifestyle, right? My friend Daniel just came back from Scotland and, he was dreading it. He was like, oh, I've got these 2 kids and it's such a long flight. I'm like, change your be positive. Why are we being negative before we ever get started? And you know what happened? It was an amazing flight there and back because he changed his mindset. Because if we don't change our mindset and we have one little thing go wrong and we're like, I knew it. I knew that's what was going to happen. You're right. It's going to be terrible. But that's my point. Change your mindset, change your life, have financial freedom, have time freedom, because it's about your kids. It's about doing things with your kids. And that's what I want you to be able to think and do. That's what I want you to do in 2026. So if you need anything, if you want to know when I go live for Christmas light, text the word light, LITE. That's when I will go live. If you've got questions, call me, text me, email me, jason@christmaslights.io. If I don't answer the phone, I will get back to you really quick. Sometimes I'm in meetings and I don't always get to answer the phone, but I try to answer the phone as much as I can because it's back to I practice what you preach. If you don't answer your phone, you're going to lose business and you're going to be out of business. And so Jason has had the highest ethics of anyone in the business. And I'm just being honest. I don't want, if you want to go buy a bunch of lights because some guru told you to do it and you go out of business, don't blame me. This reflects the efficiency of our system. And so now it is really pouring down and I can barely hear myself talk. So if you need anything, give me a call. ChristmasLights.io, 50-cent bulbs. I think they're 51 cents. There's an ad in there, a coupon code in the group. If you go into the Christmas light group, if you can't find it, message me and I'll send it to you. And with that, have an amazing night, have an amazing week, and we'll see you all later.